In a few weeks, Prime Minister Andrew Holness will name the chairman for the National Commission on Violence Prevention. That announcement was made by Minister with Responsibility for Information, Carl Samuda, at this morning's post-cabinet press briefing. But questions still linger about the Peace Management Initiative, which will be scaling back its operations due to funding challenges. The Information Minister, in explaining the role of the National Commission on Violence Prevention, noted that the Commission will, among other things, review all existing public and private violence prevention programs.
It will seek to identify gaps in the prevention and intervention services that are provided and to make recommendations with respect to violence prevention and intervention programs. And it will also create a 10-year action plan.
Based on his explanation, programs like the Peace Management Initiative PMI will form part of that review. Established in 2002, the PMI leads several national violence prevention programs in some 40 volatile communities. But uncertain times are ahead following the announcement that government intends to cut its funding. Mr. Samuda was asked about the thinking behind the decision.
I would not trespass on another colleague's operation of their ministry. I stick in my lane, and I try desperately to stick to what I am responsible for.
Mr. Samuda's responsibilities in government, leader of government business in the House, minister without portfolio responsibility for education and information. He was then asked whether the decision was that of the cabinet.
The fact is that there are certain explanations that you had best receive from the minister himself. I don't explain other people's work. I allow them to explain themselves. They're quite capable of explaining in detail. So what I would recommend to the media is that you seek out the audience with the Minister of National Security.
That aside, an acknowledgement from Mr. Samuda about the work of the PMI.
I've had exposures. I've had my problems in my constituency. You all know of the highly celebrated Red Hills Road and areas along that strip that we have had our challenges with, and they have come in and we have had discussions and meetings, and it has served its purpose. So we are not suggesting for a moment that there is any attempt to eliminate the PMI and to diminish its importance. But there are certain other factors that I'm sure the minister would have taken into consideration in making that recommendation.